Now, I'm not a complainerson, as we say in my house, because complaining, it doesn't do you any good. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't make anything better, right? It just letting off steam. Well, complaining. But what I like to do is to point out things that I could complain about, but I'm not actually complaining because again, doesn't do anything. I don't have a microphone, so if this sounds weird, I apologize. I'm in a basement. It's a case of sometimes be careful what you ask for. I don't know if you know this, but in the last couple of episodes, last couple of episodes, that's a lot. I was saying like, oh, I want to be in my barn and record, and the people haven't come to work on the barn. Well, now they are. They're there, and they're working, and it's been 2 weeks. And why don't I have a microphone? Well, because I had to take everything out of the barn, and I put it on a tarp on the ground, and then I covered it with one tarp that only covered some of it, and then I got another tarp and I covered the rest of it. But that's where everything is. And here's the fun thing: it rained. It's been raining and snowing ever since I put everything outside. So, and every so often I'll go out and one of the tarps is across the yard and everything's just out in the world, exposed. Look at me, get me wet, destroy me. No. And so I have a lot of nerves about that, a lot of agita, right? That's like, okay, so now the barn's going to be finished at some point, and then I'm going to have to bring everything back in and figure out what's working and what's broken. Why does it always have to be something? I don't know. Well, they said, this job here is going to take us about 3 days. We're looking at this, and it's going to take us about 3 days. And I was like, all right. Well, that's not that much time. Well, we're at 2 weeks now, and still going. And the only consistent thing in this whole process has been the guy showing up to ask for more money. Like, hey, we got step 1A done, so we're going to need some money. And I'm like, all right, here's a check. I have to write the guy checks. I had to go find checks to give the guy a check. Here's a check. You had to write it all out, write things on it. Yeah, I don't know if you know what a check is, but it's like a piece of paper. It's you have to give to people sometimes, and it counts as money, I guess. And they take it out of your account. They rip it out of your account. But you have to, let's see, the first thing you do is you write who it's to. So you write to the building company. And then you and you have to ask them, who do I make this out to? Because sometimes it might be different. And they say, oh, you got to make it out to blah, 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 blah. And you're like, all right, you got to spell it right. You got to make sure it's legible. And then the next thing is the date of the. So you put down the date on the top, and you can do it in all kinds of ways. There's no super consistent. Like you can write 02 dot, and then 10 dot 22, or you can just go 2/10/2022. What is wrong with my mouth words maker? Or you can write out February 10, 2022. I can't talk. And then when you do that, you have to go and look up how to spell February, because it's actually spelled February. And so that's got to be right. And then so next to the who this goes to is a box, and it says something. It's like total or something like that. I don't know what it is. Amount. I think it says amount. And so then you write down in there with numbers. You go like 17.00 if it's $17, and then the next line, and this is where it gets wacky. Like who knows? But you're supposed to write out in words what you wrote in the amount box in numbers. And so if it's 17, then you have to write $17 and then after the and, you do like a little fraction thing. So if it's $17.41, then you write the $17 and 41 / like over 100, and then a line for the rest of it. That's how I do it. But I've seen other people do it other ways. I don't know. I just say, hey, can I just tap my phone onto your phone and be done with it? No, can't do that. Sorry. So I'm writing them, and then you have to sign it at the bottom, right? And then on the bottom, that's on the bottom right. On the bottom left, there's another line that's like, hey, what is this for? Type of thing. And you could just write anything in there. It doesn't even matter. You could be like, duck food, and it's fine. No one cares. I don't even know if anybody reads that. That's for your records, so that when the check goes into the bank, then you know, oh, yeah. That $17.41 that I spent on February 10th, 2022 was for duck food. And so you can put that in your ledger. I don't know. It's archaic. I like to just not have to do things like that. But I did. And it keeps showing up. Hey, we had to pay for scaffolding. It's going to cost this much. And I'm just like, all right. Because if you ever get into a construction project, here's what happens. If you're hiring someone, then in theory, you really want this project to be done. You're like, I have a thing that I need to be done. I'm going to hire somebody. They're going to come and do it. And I'm going to be happy when it's done. And they say, all right, here's an estimate as to how much it's going to cost. And you're like, okay, and we're going to be here on this day, and this is how many days it's going to take, and this is your payment schedule. You're going to pay on when we finish this thing, that thing, and then also the other thing. And you're like, all right, that makes sense. But then the time gets all thrown out, and the materials, and there's always a hiccup. Oh, well, we didn't know there was this. We're going to have to charge you more. And you're just always like, okay. Because you're deep into the project, and you can't say no. You can't be like, nah. You know what? You just finish it halfway, and I'll pay you, and then it'll never get done. No, you have to keep going. It's terrible. But it's fine. I keep telling myself it's fine. And then it'll be done, and then I can go, and then I'm going to paint, and then I'm going to just move in all my stuff. I'm very excited. It's fun, too, because I have to leave the doors. They're just open. Not open, but unlocked, so the person can get in, because they just show up at random times, and I don't even know they're there. And then I get a text, hey, Natty, I'm in the barn. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea. And the other day, my kid was like, Dad, the lights are on in the barn. I think somebody's in there. And I was like, it's either the workers or a family of raccoons that have decided to move in. And he's like, wait, we have raccoons? And I was like, it was a joke. And my kid said something to me that I've heard many times from comedy producers. And he goes, Dad, don't you know? Like, come on. jokes are supposed to be funny. And I'm like, oh.
The Bumper Podcast is an oftentimes hilarious weekly romp with Natty Bumpercar and some of his pals. It is family-friendly, clean, and ridiculous. Thanks a bundle for listening. If you love our show and you'd like to help support the podcast, check out our Patreon page at https://www.patreon.com/Natty Bumpercar. Also, pretty please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Share it with everyone everywhere, post about it on all of the social medias, or leave a rating and review. The Bumper Podcast is produced at headquarters in Coffee Can Alley. It's recorded, mixed, and produced by producer. The Bumper Podcast features contributions from Aloysius J. Pig, Rufus T. Rufus, Doodle Poodle, Robot, Trunks, and a gaggle of other silly rascals. Our head talker is probably Natty Bumpercar. We also have an absurd newsletter. Check it out and subscribe at nattybumpercar.com/subscribe. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Natty Bumpercar. Hugs and hearts. See you soon.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.